Hi, everybody. Shannon here with Destination Jackpot. And as promised, we have Tyler here, and he with You Are Comped, and he is going to answer some host questions. You've heard from our host at casinos before, but you've not ever heard from from You Are Comped on our channel. So he's agreed to come on and do a Q&A. And I didn't share any of the questions with him ahead of time, but I think he's going to do just fine. And Tyler, you're the sales team manager there at UR right?
I am, yes. So I am the sales team manager with UR Comped. I oversee all of our hosts out there, make sure that everybody's taking care of all their players and getting everybody hooked up, get them the best deals. So, been doing this for over 6 years now, and really excited to be put on the spot here. See if I can answer some questions for you.
Yeah. See if you got it right.
Yeah, see if I still got it.
Yeah. And he's got a new baby, so he hadn't probably been sleeping very well either. So
Yep,
um,
we're
there's that.
hanging on by a thread here. We
Yeah,
got
right.
it.
Yeah, I hear that. So tell us, why do you want to use UR Comped whenever you're looking to further your benefits with casino play? If you're an established player that does has pretty good average play, UR Comped is for you. Is that correct?
It is. Yeah. Our services are best used for players trying to experience new and exciting offers, places that they haven't been before. And one of the benefits and the reason I tell people to use UR Comped is just the opportunity to experience so many new things. If you are going to a land based casino, you're getting offers for that casino. And you're consistently getting offers for that casino, but you go walk outside and you see the one next door, like, man, I really want to go try to stay there. Instead of going there, starting over brand new, going in that's like from scratch and building up the perks and the benefits and the card tier status, everything that you've gotten at the place you've been going forever. UR Compt is there to kind of hold your hand and get you a lot of those perks and benefits that you're already getting. So instead of starting over brand new somewhere else, UR Compt is there to open up the door to a bunch of new casinos. You might be a land based player who's never cruised before and wants to try that out, but paying $3,000, $4,000 for a cruise is just the one thing that's stopping you from trying it out. So UR Compt is there to help you out, get you new experiences at new places that you might not have got to experience before.
And as you told us when we signed up, if we book through you, especially with a cruise, a lot of times you can get us free drinks at the casino, which is a huge perk if you're a
Yep.
first-time cruiser on that line. That's a big perk.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's a lot of benefits with using UR Comp, like you mentioned, free drinks while in the casino, free cash withdrawals from the cage to avoid that 3 to 5% convenience fee. Things that you would generally have on your first sailing, we're able to get those waived and get you those free drinks for booking through UR Comp. So, not only experiencing something new, but getting some perks out of it as well.
That's awesome. That's what we're about at Destination Jackpot, showing people how to save money. So this is right in my wheelhouse. I love it and love to find new ways to help people save money. So, and then on the land-based side, so I've kind of looked through some of my offers that we had from when we signed us up, and I noticed that you had Ameristar in Blackhawk, you had Hard Rock casinos, some of those on there. There were really some interesting ones. So if I've been like to Ameristar and Blackhawk, I couldn't use you to book there if I, how does that work?
Yeah, so all the cruise lines, all the casinos have coding. So whenever you book directly or you book through a different travel agent, you are coded to that facility. So if you book direct, you'd be house coded, coded directly. If you book through me, you'd be coded through UR Comped. And that just protects the players and protects the agents who are booking you. So if you tried to book directly and then a month later or so tried to book through me, they would let me know, hey, this guest is house coded. You wouldn't be able to book them at this time. So if you are currently active with a casino or that main kind of umbrella of casinos like MGM, Caesars, things like that, you would be you would have to go through that person directly, either your host that you have with that property or call directly to book. But that's why we mentioned so much that our services are best used for new and exciting places you haven't been before,
Right.
just because we want to open those doors so you're not going to the same places over and over. Unless we send you there, then keep booking away with the with us. Do those same
Find out,
places.
just check with your host and they can tell you, they can find out for you. So, like, I don't have a relationship with Hard Rock. I've never played at Hard Rock. I don't have a card at Hard Rock, but that's a brand that I'd like to explore, because I think I like those, might like those properties, and I like that they have many destinations, right?
Yeah,
Um, that would be a good one for us to work together on, right?
definitely. Yeah. So like you mentioned, a lot of different options for the property. So Biloxi is one that we work with quite a bit. So there's a lot of different opportunities once you do get signed up with us and you do upload your offers. It really just opens a door to a bunch of different casinos that you might not have gotten to try before.
Which is pretty cool. So let's just say that I did go to Hard Rock in Biloxi
Mhm.
and you booked a trip there for me and whatever, it's an amazing stay. And I play, and I win, I lose, and I do whatever. Would you then look at my play at the end to see if the charges I put on my room would be able to be comped, or would, how does that work?
Yeah, so we are still the travel agent for it. We set everything up for you. It would be at the discretion of the host at the property what
Okay.
additional comps. I would do everything I could to set up additional perks and benefits for you prior to going.
Okay.
Just like an example, like I would set up food and beverage credits for you. I would set up free play whenever you arrive, specialty check-in, transportation if it's needed, stuff like that. I would get done for you. They would look at your play while you're there to establish the back end comps if they're going
Okay.
to comp off room charges. And we have a bunch of notices once you book, kind of tips and tricks like use your player's card at all times, charge everything to your room, talk to the casino host, check with the pit boss to see what they're tracking your play at, just things like that to help make sure you're maximizing your comps you're getting while you're there. But yeah, it would be on the casino at the end to see what the back end comps would be.
Okay, because that is always important. Those tips that you just gave us, there was a lot of wealth of information in that little bit. But you would
Yeah.
still then have a separate casino host that you would deal with. Am I hearing that right?
We would set everything up with the player development team there and the hosts at the property themselves. So they would always be aware that one of the UR comp players was coming. They would typically find you at the property once you do check in. They would introduce themselves, and that would be your main point of contact once you're there.
Okay.
Um, there are properties that are a little bit different that we work with where once you get there, you would establish the connection with a host at the property, and other ones where they would come find you, they would introduce themselves. So it really depends on the property you're going to, but regardless, if UR Comp sends you, they'll know that you're a UR Comp player and they'll make sure you're taken care of.
Very good. Okay, good to know. Okay. So once you've signed up, how long is it till your first offer?
Yeah, it depends on you. Whenever you upload your first offer, is the I think it takes about a day or two for our verification team, depending on how busy it is. If we just came back from Thanksgiving break, it might take a
Uh,
little bit longer. But yeah, as soon as you upload your offers, our verification team is going to get to work right away on getting them verified, getting everything added to your profile, and you'll get a text or an email that lets you know all of your offers have been verified. You can see what you qualify for now here, and it'll send you a link to your My Offers tab that shows you everything that you're currently qualified for. So it's pretty immediate, about a day or two, and you should be seeing your offers.
And in the meantime, you can always look at the that calculator under tools and kind of get an idea of what you might qualify for. But I will say, be sure to watch the other video that we did that shows you exactly how to sign up, because there's some good tips in that video as well. So be sure to look for that. And then once you sign up, do you have a certain time frame that you have to book your first offer in?
You don't have there's no like this is the time that your offers are valid for. Typically with the cruise offers and land-based offers, they all have expiration dates on them. But generally, we like to use offers that are within 24 months. So if you got it a year ago, we can still use that to negotiate on your behalf. But once it gets to about 2 years, a lot can change in 2 years. Financial situations might change for the better or for the worse. Life changes. So there are a lot of things that go into it, but typically we like to use offers that are within 2 years. So that's why we ask you to just keep uploading your offers. If it's been a while since you've uploaded anything, our system will ask you again, like, hey, do you want to upload any more offers, newer offers, things like that. But once you take that first sailing and we get the verified play, generally we'll use that for everything moving forward. We'll use your verified play instead of those offers. So the big thing is just getting that first trip under your belt and getting some verified play.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Very good to know. Okay, what about, can you only book one cruise or land-based offer at a time, or can you do multiple for the year, or how far out?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So our policy here at UR Compt is to book just one sailing or trip for your first one. And then once we get the verified play, then we can book multiple for you. We don't want to book 10, 15 sailings on the estimate, like based on an offer that you might have sent in. If we talk to a casino host or we get verified play prior, then we can look into multiple sailings for you. But we really just want to see, this is what we think your play is based on your offers. Let's see it on a trip. Just double check, make sure that it is the same. And once we get that back, then we're a lot more willing to book multiple trips for you. And then it comes down to the discretion of the casino or the cruise line, how many they're willing to do. I know some will do 3 or 4 and then wait and see what the play looks like. Others will do like 10 of them and let you book as much as you want. For casinos, land-based casinos, generally they want to book you on a comp like within 3 to 4 months. They don't want to go too much further out from that. With cruises, generally the casino pricing is about 12 to 16 months. So that's whenever you start getting actual casino rates that they can start comping, will be between the 12 to 16 month rate or length. And yeah, so you can book up to 16 months out.
Because it is really important that you meet that expectation of qualified play, right? Because that's what is going to determine your future offers. Just like we try to teach at the land-based casinos that we visit. I'd love to go to MGM, and we had a fantastic, amazing 2-story suite that had the glass stairs, all the things, and this big, huge veranda that overlooked downtown, and it was an amazing suite. But I was very aware of how much I have to gamble to fulfill that comp, and I won't ever book that suite again unless it's a special benefit, right? Um,
Yep.
a nice room is good for me. It doesn't have to be necessarily a suite. So I'm very cautious of that, and we should be as well when we're doing UR comp, right? Um,
Yeah, that is very true. We don't ever like, you have to play this much, you have to hit these numbers, or we're not like, if you mention a bankroll, we like, you don't have to like prove or show it. It's just the expectation that if you're earning a certain bounce back certificate or you're getting a certain comp while on board, that's what your offers will be moving forward. Most likely it's if we got you a junior suite and the bounce back offer you got was an interior, just there's a good chance that your offers moving forward will be at that level. It's all dependent on the play. We're not going to tell you you have to hit anything. We want you to go out and have a good time and have fun. But yeah, if you're getting like junior suite offers, just make sure your play maintains those junior suite offers or grand suite offers, things like that.
right. So that's why it's really good to be realistic and set that budget, that win or loss. So we're really big about that. We always call it our entertainment budget. And
Yeah.
if I don't have to pay for room and drinks and food and all those things, my entertainment budget is a little bit more. But it is important to be realistic with what you're willing to lose, because it is gambling and you could lose every bit of it when you go on that cruise. So be sure to be realistic, and then you don't have to stress about it and worry when you're on UR Comp offer.
Yep.
But so y'all do look at ADT. and Theo. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about that? I love, love, love the calculator. If you don't even sign up for URComp, go to urcomp.com, hopefully slash DJ
Yep.
and Destination Jackpot, and play around with the tools because they have a fantastic tool on their website that really kind of, it says comp calculator, and that really helps you understand how much you play, what your daily budget is, how many hours you play, um, what your likely ADT is going to be. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah, for sure. So theoretical and ADT, average daily theoretical, are what all the casinos, all the cruise lines use to determine comps. So theoretically, you will play at this level. It's a calculation based on your buy-in, how long you're playing, your average bet, and what the house odds are for that specific game you're playing. So every like blackjack, craps, roulette, they all have different odds and percentages for the house. So all of that goes in. They do the math um, every day and get that theoretical for an entire trip. So if you're out there for 3 days and you get an ADT or a theoretical of like 4,000, your ADT would be 1,300 for a 3 day trip. 13, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So they're tracking, okay, this person theoretically for this 3 day trip should be playing at around a $4,000 level. So we can apply a comp that goes to this much, and they'll have their percentages of how much of theoretical they're willing to comp you. They want to make their money. All the cruise lines and casinos, they all want to make their money. So they're not going to be comping at that $4,000 theoretical level. But yeah, so it's the math that goes into it is always tricky because the house edge or those percentages they don't share with anybody. It's all trade. It's all their information. But with the ADT, we can use that to really negotiate and push harder for you. Like this guest is having $1,000 ADT, so we should be able to get this certain comp for them. So obviously, the higher ADT, the higher we can push for you and really get for you. But like you mentioned, that ADT calculator or the comp calculator, it really gives you a good idea of what games you're playing, what level you need to play at, and how long you need to play there to get certain ADT. So if you go in with the understanding, like I want to be at a 1,000 ADT, you can keep messing with it and keep checking. Okay, if I do this much on roulette for this long, this is what my ADT should be. But you can look at like video poker, how it takes a lot longer to hit a higher ADT with slots. The higher denominations at a shorter amount of time might get me a higher ADT than this or that. So there's a lot of things that go into it, but that comp calculator really helps you break it down. And one of the cool things about URComped is if you are doing a land base or even on our cruise offers, it tells you what the ADT like generally should be, like where you should be at to maintain comps. So we try to make it as easy as possible for you to understand, like, this is where I need to be to keep getting this comp. Or if I don't hit this, then I might get a slightly lower comp. So we try to make it as easily digestible as possible and have all the information up front. Similar to what you mentioned before, is just having all that information out before you do the trip. We don't want it to be a surprise at the end. Like, why didn't this happen? Or why didn't I get this? So
Yeah.
we try to make it as easy as possible.
Sometimes I think casinos are they're a little guarded about all this information. If you would just educate people, I'm all about that. Educate people, let them understand. That way, then they can make the decision if they want to take that comp or they don't want to take the comp. I'd
Yep.
much rather somebody pay for a room, charge everything to their account, and then go see a host at the end or the front desk and ask them what they can get comp than to and also set realistic expectations, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's also frustrating when you're not going to go in with a $200 a day budget and get comped, right? I mean, you're just
Yeah.
not. But if you go with a 750 or $1,000 a day budget, then you're probably going to get some comps, right?
Yeah.
Um, Depending
Yeah.
on how the play goes.
Yeah, definitely. There's always swings, and one of the things we talk a lot about here is like we with the theoretical, like I'm not going in there hoping that like you're losing the amount that you're putting for your bankroll. With theoreticals, you could win a ton and still have a very high theoretical because of the way you're playing. So it's really, if you're playing for a long time and playing consistently, your ADT should be really high and it should help you get the best offers. It's not wanting you to go. That's always something with me telling people I work in like the casino industry, like, oh, you just want everybody to lose or all that. I'm like, no, I hope that you win. Like that
Right.
makes it even better. So I do think there's a lot of like trade secrets and stuff in there, but if you're just playing consistently um, for a long period of time, it should do really well for you.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's good. Good to know. So look at their website. There's a lot of great information on there as well. And then what if you get a free cruise from a casino? Um, can you use UR Comps to book that cruise?
Yeah, so if you're getting one of their cruise certificate events or something like that, definitely send it in to us. We can use that to negotiate for you. We cannot use any offers you're sending in to us. Like I can't physically use that cruise cert that you're getting from the casino. That would code you to that casino itself. But I can use that to negotiate on your behalf to say, hey, they're getting this cruise cert event uh, offer that has a free balcony, let's just say. But I also talked to their host, and their ADT is at this level. Do you think I could get maybe a junior suite for them, or can I do that balcony and add such and such perks, something like that? So it's always
Or add
like
those
you'd,
drinks in the casino? I mean,
yeah,
that
exactly,
probably
yeah.
that's
So
huge.
it is always a really good option just to just text your host and ask like, hey, I got this certificate from Hard Rock, do you think you could do something similar or better for me, and just give us an option or give us an opportunity to work for you. We love to go to bat for our players, and we really want to get you the best deal. So if there is an opportunity for us to pick up your comp option and book you on a trip, we want to take that opportunity. So if you do have something, it's always a good idea just to send it over and check with us first. And it might be something where we just aren't able to help on it, but it does not hurt to just ask and see what they say.
Well, and the other big important thing here is you want to give the UR comp a chance because once you cruise with that cruise line, you have to wait between 12 to 24 months before you can use UR comp. So especially if you're going on a new cruise line, I mean, you heard it from, you can get those cash fee waves a lot of the times. You can also get, free drinks in the casino and other comps that UR comp may be able to help you with. So don't leave that stuff out on the table. Be sure to book with UR Compt and give them an opportunity and see what additional perks they can give you because that'll add up quick.
Yes. Yeah. And it's with that, like if you book directly and you take that sailing and you are coded to them, you will get mailers, you'll get opportunities for comp sailings in the future, specials and stuff that they have. But with UR Compt and us using your verified play to negotiate comps for you, if there's a sailing on one of those mailers that's not listed that you really wanted, you're really looking forward to, but they haven't had any of these mailers for it yet, they're not able to help you on that booking. Like having UR Comp, we can push for those sailings that aren't on the list, aren't on the mailers. Just open the door to even more options than going directly. So I know a lot of people had mentioned like, well, I don't know why I don't just book directly. It's the same offers, but with UR Comp, there are just so much more offers. There's so many more options for comp trips and using your play instead of just the offers that you get in mailers. It really opens up the door to a lot more things for our players.
Yeah, I'm excited, really excited to see that and how that works for sure. So then that leads me to my next question. If you do take a cruise and you booked with UR Comp, so let's just say I book a I don't know, NCL cruise. Is it called NCL? Is that right?
CL, yep.
NCL cruise. I've never cruised with them before. So I do this NCL cruise. You book it for me. and then I'm on the cruise and I get this offer. I get a free cruise. Do I take it there or how do you handle that?
Yeah, so there's quite a few options. I know you're using NCL as an example, but Royal does one that's uh, very common nowadays as the next cruise booking.
Yeah.
So you hit a certain amount of points and you book it on board, and then you have that sailing for the future. But the way that they do it most of the time is you put a deposit down, and then you get a list of sailings after the sailing, and then you pick which one you want. So that's where UR Comp would come in. Instead of you waiting on hold with the cruise line and trying to figure out what sailing would work, you just give us a call or text and let us know, and we go do all that work for you, getting it all booked, adding the certificate that you earned, as well as that next cruise hold that you put down. Um, if you do book it directly with them, um, since we sent you and introduced you to that cruise line, we would still get credit for it. It would be coded to UR Comped. So if your guest can't go anymore and you need to change them, or that sale date just really doesn't work anymore, it worked at the time but doesn't anymore, UR Comp can step in and help you make those changes, update anything, change your cabin, whatever you might need. So although you booked it directly, it's still coded to UR Comp, and we can help you with any changes or updates you might have. Um, so you can just easy as send a text or send an email, let us do all that hard work and all the waiting and the hold times.
And I tell you what, that's huge because we did go on a cruise with Royal Caribbean in February. It was our first cruise we'd ever been on, and we had won the cruise or earned the cruise or however you want to, whatever you want to call it. So the cruise itself didn't cost us anything, but we did play on the ship a lot and got one of those offers, went down, paid our deposit, and it felt like 100 pages and it was overwhelming and I never booked it. I lost that whole deposit.
Yep.
Um, so if I would have had you, you probably wouldn't have let me lose that cruise.
Yeah, yeah. I would have stayed on top of it. I would have made sure we picked something in the time frame and got it all done for you. But yeah, it's we want it to be one of our pillars at UR Compt is convenience. We want it to be as convenient as possible for our guests. Just easy as shooting a text or just hitting that book option on the My Offers tab and let us do all the work for you. So your vacation starts right then and not at the very end, like right before you get on board.
You're kind of like a um, travel agent on steroids that can get us these prompts, right? I mean,
Exactly.
really,
Yep.
that's what it kind of feels like to me. And um, what a need. I mean, I see because we do destination, that's our thing is, destinations. Um, I've worked with some really good, not good travel agents where it's like, I could just do this by myself,
Yeah.
but I really do see the value with UR Comp, especially if you are a casino player, which most of our viewers are, and you're earning those offers anyway. Let UR Comp take you to these other destinations. Let them take you to these other places on your earned play because you've earned it, right? I think that's super cool. So
Yeah, definitely.
so, random question here. What is the legal age that you can gamble on cruise ships?
Yeah, on cruises is actually 18 since you're in international waters. You can
Oh,
be 18 to gamble. I think I have booked 18-year-olds in the past. I don't know how often it is something that is brought up with us. Like, hey, I see that the main guest on this one is 18. But yeah, on a cruise, you are able to gamble at 18 on the international waters.
okay. Someone had told me that, and I thought it was kind of an interesting thing. And you can book suites, you can book all room types. Not all room types may be comped. You want to talk about
Yes.
that a little bit?
Yeah, so we give you our estimate. We get the pricing from the casinos or the cruise lines, and we build our offers around that, and we show you what we think we can get comped for you based on the offers you have uploaded, how you tell us what you play, your bankroll. All of that goes into certain criteria that the cruises are looking for. And we'll show you that offer, whether it's a comp interior, comp ocean view, balcony, up to the suites. And then it is your choice if you want to upgrade. We're more than happy to help get that upgrade done for you. And it's again with our negotiating and our talking to them, we can get that price much lower than what you would find directly or going through one of the other booking sources. We try to get you the best deal on it. Um, and with that is the perks that come with them with those different casino or cabin types.
Okay, so when you are going to take a cruise, or for a land-based casino for that matter, is it better to bring the cash with you? I know that you're not supposed to travel with more than $10,000 cash, right? Interstate.
Correct. Yeah, it's so there are multiple options. They have options for wire transfers where you are just sending front money to the casino. They have it at the cage waiting for you. Credit line is another good option where you set it up with the banks there to have a certain amount ready whenever you get there that you can pull from, pay back afterwards. It really is all dependent on what the amount is. If you are getting to the 10, 15, 20, up to $100,000, it's generally better to have that as a credit line or set up that front money just because the risks of traveling with that much money. Having the front money there also is one of the tips and tricks is having the front money there already does help with your comp options. Them knowing that you are setting up this amount of money, it's not as much of an estimate anymore. Like we think they'll play at this level, you'll have that money there already, which does kind of help. So setting up front money is definitely a good option.
Okay, very good. And you can also charge to your stateroom and get money out, right?
Correct. Yeah. So with the whenever you say cash, it could just be the card that you have, your debit card or credit card. That is technically cash that you have available for you. So whenever you're checking in, you have that card on file, and whenever you go to the machine or go to the table to pull out money, they'll just charge that card that's on file.
So is there a limit on that? Like a daily limit?
There is most of the lines, if you're doing just the pull from your card, will be around $5,000 a day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you won't be able to do more than that.
Okay. Good to know. And it may not even be that high. So don't depend on that because you don't want to get on
Yeah,
it to not have be able to get funds to gamble with. That would not be fun at all.
exactly. Yep.
So tell us, Tyler, do you have any favorite cruises destinations?
Oh man, I still have so many I want to see. Like Alaska, I'm dying to see. There's a lot of ports in Europe that I hear are amazing. From my actual experience, what I've done, um, Roatan has been like a special place in my heart. I don't know why, but I am obsessed with it out there. They have all the animals everywhere that you can just go hang out with, like the monkeys, the pigs that swim with you in the water. There's so many cool places in Roatan. I've always just really, really loved it out there. Just beautiful scenery, zip lines. There's just something to do everywhere. So Roatan has always been one of my favorite, but the more that we're getting cruises are getting bigger and bigger, they are all adding their own private beach clubs or private islands. And Ocean K is amazing with Royal or Coco K, sorry, with Royal. They have the fun side, the thrill water park, and they have the chill side with the huge lagoon. That one has been really, really cool to hang out at. And then MSC Ocean Marine Reserve is really starting to get a lot more attractions and things to it. And I think they're doing another big renovation here in the next year or so. So they're just getting more and more massive private islands. So that's always you step away from kind of that touristy spot where people are hounding you to buy things and do this, do that, take my cab, things like that. And you're getting to just a private island that is calm and quiet, and you just go find a place on the beach to hang out. You really can't beat that for sure.
Yeah, you really can't. That's cool. So talk to us about the different cruise lines because I know they kind of like um Carnival's kind of the fun party, younger crowd. So talk to us about some cruise lines that y'all work with and give us a little description of them.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of them nowadays out here. So um Royal is going to be your it's the other kind of like Carnival where it's a younger crowd. They have a lot of activities on board, slides and central parks and aqua theaters where people are doing high dives off the back of the ship into pools. So that's a really younger nightlife, activity based, um, still a lot of fun, tons of things to do on it. And then Celebrity, the sister company of that, is going to be your more elegant line, a slightly older crowd, but it's a fancy, really really beautiful ships with amazing restaurants and like the Eden Garden. Um, there's so many things on board to relax and kind of chill out with. Casinos close a little bit earlier there, but they are very very pretty ships. MSC came from Europe. That one is extremely fancy ships. They've got the Swarovski crystal stairwells all through the middle. The restaurants are all really, really good. We did hibachi there so many times, and I am obsessed with it. But yeah, that one is going to be a very European crowd that comes on board, even over here in the States, just because they're so popular out there. So it's a different kind of atmosphere, but really really fun. And like I said, their private island has been amazing, and we really enjoyed it out there. And if you can do yacht club, if you can pay the upgrade to yacht club, or you get comped yacht club, that's a private ship inside of a ship. Basically, you have to have a wristband to get in. You have a private butler 24/7. You have butler service. You have a private pool, private bar, private restaurant, everything just for yacht club. They take you on and off the ship. They really just, it's being pampered beyond belief. So I've Yacht Club has changed the game for a lot of people, and it's they can't go back to traveling any other way than Yacht Club nowadays. So
Yeah, that sounds like that'd be amazing.
it is a ton of fun. And then Virgin, one of the newest ones out here, is you talked about like the party vibe. Nobody is more of a party vibe than Virgin. It is extremely exciting. There's always something going on. Their events out there are just crazy, from the pajama party all over the ship to the red party. All their shows are really, really fun. And I will say Virgin is like some of the best food I've ever had on a cruise ship. It was so good. Everything is included. Everything is specialty restaurants and all of it's included. So you
Nice.
just make all your reservations before you get on board. You have a ton of options for so many different, whatever you're really feeling for food is on board, and all of it's included, which is very nice.
That is nice. That is nice. I remember when that used to be the case on all ships, right? So
Yep.
someone asked who has the best food. I think you just answered that. Virgin has pretty darn good food, huh?
Yeah, I was obsessed with it. They have like a Mexican restaurant that was so good, and then they have the Korean barbecue where you cook for yourself in front of you, play drinking games while you're in there. And yeah, I enjoyed that one probably the most out of all of them for food wise.
Okay, cool. And so you mentioned about the dress up. And so I remember back in the day, like when we went on the Princess 20 something years ago on a Princess cruise, we did the Alaskan, and they really took those formal nights. They were formal.
It
Uh,
is. Yeah, it's a
but
big
when I
deal.
went on Royal Caribbean this year, like there weren't, I wouldn't say even 50% were dressed up formal. And when they had their 70s, 80s night, hardly anybody did it.
Yeah, for Virgin, especially like the pajama party, it was on the back of the ship by the bar, and everybody was doing it. It was an all white night, and everybody was partaking in that. The red party, everybody really got into that one. MSC, we actually just had a meetup recently for Halloween, and almost the entire casino and cruise was everybody dressed up in their costumes. So I think it is something that's coming back. More people are getting into it, and really taking those theme nights to a whole other level. So I really enjoy it. That's always fun.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Okay, so talk to us about multiple cabins. Like if we wanted to book two cabins or three cabins or four cabins, or we have 7 or 8 people going, can you help us with that?
That one's always a tough one. We can help if everybody are players. We do not really assist with retail bookings, unfortunately. We do have connections that we can put you in touch with if you are booking just retail cabins. If you're booking one additional cabin at a retail rate, that is something that we can assist with through the casino. There's generally like a slight discount for a second cabin of a casino player. So it is something that we can look into for you and try to help with. But if you're doing a very big group or something like that, and it's one, two cabins are casino players and the rest are retail, we would direct you to somebody who would be able to help with those retail ones.
Okay.
And we would assist with the casino bookings. If everybody is a casino player, then we'd love to help. We would make a spreadsheet or something and get everybody cabins and get everything assigned. Everybody would have to sign up, create their own profiles, do all of that. But yeah, we'd love to take on the challenge of a big group booking for a whole group of gamblers for sure.
That'd be fun to put your own group together, let your host plan that. So
Oh
find
yeah.
gambling friends. So what about these meetups that y'all do?
Oh my gosh. My yeah, it's one of the best perks of working with UR Compt is we take out a big group of players. We do a welcome reception that includes food and drinks. We do raffles. Our players only for these get hot seat challenges. So random free play giveaways, slot tournaments just for UR Comp members. We do big slot pools. That's my only dabbling into the slot YouTube channels stuff is me doing my slot pools and filming those. We do dinners for the group or lunches for the group, depending on how big it is. So, and then a farewell party. And again, just trying to do group excursions as well, but just trying to do everything where everybody's getting involved. Everybody gets to hang out. You meet other UR Comp members. We have some that from whenever we first started doing them about 6 years ago that are still like best friends to this day. They still travel together. They met on a UR Comp meetup cruise, and still every other month are going on cruises together, which is one of my favorite things. Is just seeing like the relationships and the
Yeah.
friendships building from it. My wife and I have done probably 7 of them so far, and it just gets better and better. Just now our kids are going with us, and they're getting to experience all these fun things. But it's just really cool having people that you know on board with you hanging out. And if you don't know anybody, or if you're traveling solo, you're about to go make a whole bunch of friends and have a just amazing time doing it.
Oh, well, Destination Jackpot's going to have to join with those. So you have to give me those, give me the details and see if we can't make that happen in 2025. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is. And yeah, we actually have a whole section on our offers of meetups. We try to do at least one a month. So
Okay.
sometimes two a month. So if anybody is like, you cruise a lot, you want to make more friends who also cruise a lot, definitely getting on those meetups is a really good way to do it. You can catch Tyler uh, in May on
Okay.
MSC and November on MSC. So um,
December of 2025. I'm writing that.
2025. Come hang out with me on a meetup cruise.
So it's different people from your comp at each cruise.
Yep. So we have different people assigned to each one. I have my videographer with us as well, since we're doing the brand new MSC World America. So he's going to
Okay.
come on board with me. It'll be me and him doing a bunch of videos of the ship itself and getting to really experience the new ship. Sometimes our marketing team goes. Sometimes the tech team goes. So we just want to send people out there and just meet somebody from the UR Comp family and have them show our players a good time.
So what are your destinations in May and November?
In November, actually, both of them are going to be a very similar itinerary. It's going to be the Cozumel, Puerto Costa Maya, Roatan, and Ocean Cay Marine Reserve. Um, for the one in May, we're actually doing. We'll be in Puerto Costa Maya for Cinco de Mayo, which I
Oh,
don't
fun.
think they celebrate as much as we do here in the States, but it's still going to be really cool. I'm sure they're gonna go all out for that. So that'll be a fun experience.
That'll be fun. I'll have to look that up for sure, for sure. So last question, any tips or tricks that you can share with us from your what you've learned over the last 6 years and what you've heard from your guests and in this whole world? Besides use you are comped, besides
Yeah.
that.
the biggest tip and trick is to use UR Comped, but
Yes.
I think we've talked about a lot of them. The main thing that we run into a lot is the player's card. Like people tell us they don't believe in the player's card, or I don't want to sign up for that. I don't want all this mail. I don't want all these things, but it's how important that player's card is while you're in the casino, whether it's cruise or land based or anything. Like everything is tracked through your play through those cards. If you want back end comps, or if you want a future cruise, anything like that, like using your player's card at all times, checking with the casino host or the pit boss, like, hey, I raised my bet, did you catch that? Or hey, did you see that I started betting two hands instead of one now? Like just making sure that you're playing with your player's card and you're keeping track of your points. And everybody's human. Sometimes there will be a mistake on the pit boss's side, but if you're keeping track of things, if you're keeping an eye on your points, if you're looking down at the slot machine and notice that it went from green to red and catch that, like it's just really important to pay attention and make sure your player's card is either active or you're using it, all of that at all times. That is,
Really matters.
yeah, that one is always the one that really kills me, is where like, oh, I don't use a player's card, and then their play comes back as zero and I can't help anymore or something like that.
Right.
It's always hurts me. But yeah, doing that and then catching the short notice trips. If they're trying to fill up a ship last minute, that's always a huge one where you can get massive upgrades or really cool deals, is those last minute trips. So if you have availability, always check UR Comped for our short notice options. That
Nice. Oh,
Yeah, some of your comps could go from interiors up to balconies, things like that, if you catch some of those short notice ones. So that's always a really fun tip or trick, is just keep an eye on those short notice ones. If you have the availability to leave in a week or so, that some of those deals are really, really good.
so get your passport, make
Yep.
sure you got it ready, sign up for your comp, get your host, and find those destination jackpots. Because this is going to be fun. I'm so excited. I've
I
learned
can't wait.
so much. I can't wait to get there and dig. And I'm glad I've left my calendar kind of open this year. I've last year we had it all planned out a year in advance, and I don't think I'll ever do that again. I felt too tied down. I couldn't fit any of those spur of the moment trips in there. So we're trying to change it up a little bit this time. Be sure, guys, to let us know in the comments what your favorite cruise line is or destination that you'd like to get to go to. And if you have any other questions that you'd like Tyler to answer, we're going to be coming back and doing another follow-up interview with him at some point. So I'll be looking through the email or the thread of the comments and seeing what questions that you have, and we'll be sure and get those answered for you. So I can't guarantee that you'll get Tyler as your host, but he'll make sure that if you put in DJ Destination Jackpot, be sure that you let him know that you'll get coded to us, and he'll make sure that you get taken care of and have a good host. And if you ever have any trouble, you can reach out to him.
Yep. Just let me know.
I thank you so much, Tyler, for taking so much time with us today. I appreciate you and look forward to working with you. And I guess we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. The questions were great, and like you said, if y'all have anything else, if I can't answer it, one of our hosts here are being more than happy to help answer any questions you might have about comps in general, UR Comp trips, cruises, all of it. We'd love to help out with any questions you might have.
That's exciting. And you can text your host. So that's once you get the host, that's awesome. Such a great benefit. This is going to be great. Thank you again so much.
Thank you.
Know anywhere to find you.